Welcome to my National Podcast. Let's get into it. Welcome to my Asshole Podcast. Today is Friday, but not only is it Friday, it is the free Patreon Day episode. My goodness, boy, is it good to be here on another Patreon episode. My goodness, beautiful Patreon Day episode. It is the free Patreon Day episode. We are already in September. My goodness, this is the free Patreon September episode. My goodness, man. Oh, time is flying. But without further ado, let's get on into today's amazing thread that we got for you and our scenarios. So today's thread is, what's the most shocking secret you've accidentally uncovered and couldn't stop thinking about? All right. So what's the most shocking secret you've accidentally uncovered? There was this old woman who lived on our street, a little disheveled, mid-50s, kind of cocky but otherwise very nice. She would always talk to us about her kids, her friends and family, her job, and all these plans. Turns out none of these people existed. Oh, wow. She was unemployed and got a check each month due to her mental health condition. She got on a radar of Adult Protective Services because she rolled out her own cigarettes, ran out of paper, and used a newspaper. She got ink poisoning. They found so many dead cats, and apparently she didn't have plumbing for a number of years, so she would just shit in a Lowe's hardware bucket and then come outside to talk to the neighbors about her made-up life. They just had to tear the entire trailer down because it was unlivable. Yo, what the fuck? Imagine thinking like, this lady, oh yeah, that's just Gertrude across the street. Gertrude's a great girl. She's amazing. Oh, we love her. She said that she's got, so-and-so and Johnny and Philip and everybody coming over to her house next week and everything. That seems really cool. And then you find out that all those people she's been talking about are fake, that her life is just crazy. That house is pretty much condemned. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because she's shitting in a bucket. Like, dude, all because she rolled up a tobacco inside of a newspaper and smoked it and got ink poisoning. Damn. That's crazy. Woo! And that's one of those moments where, like, man, you think you know somebody. You know what I mean? Woo! Wow. Wow. All right, what's the most shocking secret that you have accidentally uncovered? Apparently in Montana, they have no idea where the bats go in the winter to hibernate. They checked the caves. The bats are not there. They don't know where they go. Huh. That's an interesting thing. That's one of those, like, what is it called? Oh my goodness, I can't think of it right now. One of those, like, useless piece of information that you just have, like a useless, fact or whatever. Because I do that a lot of times on Google. I just look up useless facts and I'm just like, fuck it, And that's a nice one to add on to it. I didn't even know they had bats in Montana. You know what I mean? I didn't even know that was a thing. COVID could have started in Montana. God damn it. All right. Hey, that's a good one to know, I guess. All right, what's the most shocking secret that you have accidentally uncovered? Not really sure if it's a secret, but I discovered the way one of my great aunts died was by suicide. Oh, shit. Yo. Oh, but just not any old normal suicide. No, she did her usual routine, got dinner cooked, sat the table, and was literally in the middle of dinner when she excused herself. From there, she went to the bathroom with her gun and fucking shot herself while the rest of the family was still at dinner. No. I asked. Apparently, her husband was a good man, at least how it seemed to everyone else, and wasn't abusing her, nothing like that. It's just our family is really mentally ill, which honestly, I can't say if her husband had anything to do with her death, but I can confirm we all have fucked up brains, so her just deciding to do that doesn't surprise me too much. Bro, that makes me feel like she had like intrusive thoughts and she just let her intrusive thoughts win. You know, because I ain't gonna lie to you, I sometimes be having some like suicidal ass intrusive thoughts like, you know, what if I just like run out in front of a car, or like, oh shit, you see, like, I don't know, like I used to, when I used to work in retail, and I would work in the meat department, and I would see the bandsaws going. I'm just like, oh man, like I could totally just like run my wrist through that and just, you know, my fucking hand falls off. You just have these weird intrusive thoughts. I don't know if I'm alone in that. Maybe I am. Maybe y'all have never really experienced that. But like, have you ever experienced intrusive thoughts to the point where it literally means the end of your life? Like I could totally see that being a thing where somebody has an intrusive thought and they just let it win. You know, they just let that intrusive thought win. And since they let that intrusive thought win, it's like their life's just gone. Yeah, man. Woo, just thinking about that is crazy, though. Like, man, I don't know, dude. But the fact that like she went through her normal day, everything was fine. She showed no signs of wanting to end her life or anything like that. And then all of a sudden, she's just like, "Oh, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. All right, go ahead, honey." And then I know you just hear boom, and you're like, "What the fuck?" You know, you go into the bathroom and she's just done. Woo, man, that's crazy, bro. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments if you guys have intrusive thoughts, you know? Man. All right, what's the most shocking secret that you've accidentally uncovered? The day after I followed my sister's plan of care and had her life support turned off after a tragic surgical outcome, I found out that my half-brother, her stepbrother, used to sexually assault her as a teen, and I had to be the one to make sure he didn't come to her service because not many people knew. She never told me because she didn't want me to carry it. She didn't tell our dad because she was sure he'd kill him and I would grow up without a dad. My half-brother is a respected, trusted person in our community. He was also always the golden child in my mom's eyes, without a doubt. Wow. Bruh. It's crazy to like be the only one that knows that type of information. You know what I mean? Like, to be the only one that knows that type of information that could literally ruin somebody who is kind of seen as like a good person in the community, you know? Bro. Man. I mean, but at the same time, it's one of those things where it's just like, you did bad shit, bro. And you kind of need to be, called out and punished for it, for being straight. You know what I mean? Because, bro, it's like I feel like she entrusted you with that information for a reason. You know what I mean? She entrusted you with that information so that way, you would do the right thing, if I'm being honest. You know, you would do the right thing with that piece of information. And I personally feel like the right thing to do with that piece of information would be to, out homeboy. Being straight. It would be to out homeboy, just because, like, I feel like that's what she wanted her kind of dying wish to be, is like, yo, you know what I mean? I didn't have the balls to say it or do it when I was alive. I need you to, you know what I mean? But hey, woo, I don't know. Would you guys out the dude? Would you guys just hold on to the secret? I don't know, man. I don't know. Because I feel like I would do it. I feel like I feel obligated to, like, this is my half sister or stepsister or whatever it was. Oh no, his sister. His sister's. Die and wish type shit. Man, I don't know. Let me know. Okay. What's the most shocking secret that you've accidentally uncovered? I have a couple, but I'll give you this one. Early, my great grandmother and her sister lost their mother to consumption, tuberculosis, when they were young, and my great grandfather didn't want to / couldn't take care of them. So he sent them to a local orphanage. My great-grandmother ended up being fostered by a couple who couldn't have children. At least 3 died in infancy, while her sister was left out. According to my great-aunt's autobiography, she wasn't taken in by this couple because my great-grandma was the pretty one. Well, we know now this couple were not exactly the best and were heavily involved in the local KKK. Oh, shit. Anyway, my great aunt, who I'll just call GA for short, was passed around between multiple foster homes who treated her poorly all the way through her teen years. Then, when she was about 20 and living in the city studying to be a nurse, she wrote that she met a man who she called the love of her life in the early 1920s. I'll call him NF. It was a whirlwind romance for her, especially for someone who hadn't experienced a lot of love in their life. NF had money and was a CEO of an oil company, a very well-known man, and was the life of the party. All right. The two were married within months of meeting. Unfortunately, their marriage only lasted over a little over a year and a half. NF died of natural causes at the age of 31. Oh, shit. While in office at work for a long time, this is all our family knew. So our state has been getting a few press recently due to a book, A Fever in the Heartland by Tim Egan. It's about the KKK and how they ran this city, Indianapolis, in the 20s. The Grand Dragon, DC, Stevenson, there you go, and the woman who eventually caused the organization's downfall, with all of the eyes on the KKK today, I decided to start digging into my family tree to see who was involved. Of course, I already mentioned the couple who adopted my great-grandmother, but I also discovered that my great-aunt's love of her life was a Kegel, aka KKK recruitment guy. And after more research into old newspapers, it turned out he was one of Stevenson's right-hand man and even testified in front of Congress in favor of the Klan and to prevent Klan members' names from being released in the newspaper. I'm pretty sure my great aunt was partying it up with NF and the Klan at Stevenson's home. Just a mile from where I currently sit on my couch in my own home. It's bonkers to have discovered this all because of my own research. Yo! My man pretty much had he was Adeline, and he had family members that pretty much were like Aunt Gigi and all that, where she was fucking around with mobsters and all this shit in the 40s, cheating on her husband with a mobster dude out of the 40s. Man, that's some crazy shit. So pretty much his great grandmother and his great aunt, their parents were horrible and shitty, so, Grandpa was just like, man, I'm going to just send y'all to an orphanage. Send them to an orphanage. Then the great grandma, she goes from pretty much house to house to house to house, all through her teens. And then she meets this really wealthy guy, gets with this wealthy dude. He ends up dying. They say that it's of a natural cause and all that kind of stuff. While other people think that it was more to do with his involvement with the KKK is the reason why he actually died. But because of this Stevenson's person involvement also with the KKK, they went ahead and covered up his death from it not being a KKK involvement and it being more of a, natural cause thing, and keeping people's names out of the newspaper was kind of his job. That's what he did. And the fact that the Stevenson dude was pretty much involved with his great aunt at the time, it was like, yo, your great grandma and great aunt were just all tied up in this whole KKK conspiracy thing of, keeping people's names who are involved with the Klan out of the newspapers and keeping their names out of the public and shit like that. Wow, bro. That's insane. Imagine if you had family members who had lives that were just that crazy. And I'm sure back in the 20s for them, they're like, yeah, this is just normal, hunky-dory, just another Tuesday. Damn, man. Wow. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, what's the most shocking story that you have accidentally uncovered? A client of mine admitted to me that it was probable her brother was the father of her baby.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Hold up. So hold on. Your client admitted that it was probable her brother was the father. So she had sex with her own brother. And then, maybe she had a husband or something like that. Wait, hold on. It's been almost 40 years, but she's one I still think about. Okay. So, yeah, she was pretty much having sex with either her husband, boyfriend, whatever it was, or she was just having sex with her brother. I don't know. That's crazy, man. Because, think about it like this. If she was having sex with just her brother, say she didn't have a husband or nothing like that, she was having sex with her brother, she really wouldn't want that to get out, you know what I mean? Like, she really wouldn't want that to get out and be kind of a thing, of, importance, because if it was, that would kind of, yeah, man, ooh-wee, that would kind of be a big no-no, from being honest with you. Obviously on the side of the family and all that. But damn, son. Damn. Yeah, bro. Well, she probably did. I wonder if she had that kid. You know what I mean? I wonder if she did have that kid. I wonder if she found out if the brother was the dad. And man, woo! That in itself is a mystery. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right, what's the most shocking secret that you've accidentally uncovered? My uncle, who was incredibly close with and always looked up to, has not one, but 2 daughters that no one, I'm assuming even him, know exist. The first one matched to me on Ancestry, and a year or so before he passed, he had dementia, so I obviously never told him about it. And then I just happened to stumble across another one a few months ago, also on Ancestry. Okay. I ended up telling my oldest cousin about the first one after my uncle passed, since she expressed an interest in maybe reaching out, and she wanted me to run that past my cousin before she did so. There weren't any surprises. I also wanted at least one of my cousins to be aware, because if I found out that a family member knew I had random half-siblings out there and didn't tell me, I would feel pretty betrayed. I haven't mentioned the second one yet, but they aren't asking any questions, so I'm just going to leave it alone for now. Things revealed by Ancestry DNA test. Man, I don't know how I would feel if I was like me now, and then all of a sudden I found out that I had like a half sibling that I just didn't even know about, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, we're fucking siblings, that would be crazy. What would be way crazy is if like you happen to find out that, say a guy or a girl you were dating through Ancestry.com, say, you and your girl decide to do Ancestry.com or something, and you guys are like, oh yeah, and you find out you guys are like half siblings or something. Oh my God. That would be the worst right there. But just finding out you have a half sibling in general is kind of crazy, because you're like, holy shit, there's this person out here that I'm related to that I didn't know anything about. I didn't know jack shit about them. I didn't even know you existed. I didn't know you were a thing. Like, that's crazy. Yeah, man. What? I mean, shit. If you guys have any half siblings that, you found out in a crazy way, or they hit you up on Facebook or some shit, definitely let me know. Cause man, how would you get through something like that? How would you navigate that? Because I don't know, for me personally, it would definitely be shocking. Definitely it would be shocking. It would be one of those things where I would be kind of sitting there in disbelief almost, where I'm like, there's no fucking way that you know what I mean, I have a half sibling. Like, what in the hell is going on here? Hey man. Woo! What's the most shocking secret that you have accidentally uncovered? Parent randomly dropped the fact that their uncle was murdered at 16, and either their grandfather or the sheriff's son did it. Oh. Okay. So, does that mean you possibly... I would love more information. Like, why did it happen? Why did this murder happen? How was it covered up? Who took the fall for it? Or is it a cold case kind of thing? And like, you guys know you guys know the answer to the mystery, I guess. I don't know. Man, wow. Because they say either the grandfather or the sheriff's son did it. I would think it'd be the sheriff's son, I ain't gonna lie to you, just because he would have access to a gun a little easier. But I mean, the grandfather could have done it too. Man, that's okay. All right, this will be our last one for this thread. What's the most shocking secret that you've accidentally uncovered? A previous girlfriend told me I have something I should tell you, but I can't, and I've never told anyone. For whatever reason, I just said, does it have to do with your uncle? I had a weird feeling about him from day one. She was so young when it started. I convinced her to talk to her family about the situation in case he was doing it to other kids. They fucking forgave him instead. What? So I take it the uncle was probably touching her inappropriately and all that kind of nonsense. Man, and they were like, oh, it's okay. It's all good. That's wild. Instead of just being like, bruh, nah, man, you can't come out to the cookouts no more. Because that's how I would have handled that shit. I'd be like, look, bro, you can't come out to the cookouts no more because doing this shit is a big no-no, man. That is a big no-no. Like, you can't be doing... Nah, bro. Nah. That's wild to me. Hey, man, you got to realize that, some people don't see it as a bad thing because it happened so long ago, and they're like, oh, well, they probably changed and it's okay. You know what I mean? And that's a tough one. That is a tough one. But that's going to be the end of that thread. Hope you guys enjoyed that thread. Wow, some people have some crazy shit going on in their families. If you guys have some crazy story that you found out, or, just crazy fact about you, a family member, an uncle, great grandma, something like that, definitely let me know down in the comments, man. I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to see what you guys got going on. It's crazy out here in this world. Because, man, I love it when people get to share their stories and they get to share, like, their situations and things that they got going on. Because, dude, we live in a world where there's just so many people who have unique stories, and it's so cool when you get to kind of hear about other people's unique stories and situations and family lifestyles and all that stuff. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy to me. But, it is Patreon episode, but it is the free Patreon episode, so we do still have announcements. So we'll hop through announcements, and then we'll get right on into our scenarios for today. So, patreon.com/MyAssHole Podcast if you want to get an exclusive episode every single Friday. So if you want to get an episode every single Friday, definitely get on down to the Patreon. Sign up for a 7-day free trial. Get full access to it for 7 days for absolutely free. And see if it's something that you like. And if it is something that you like, then go ahead and pay that humble $3 a month and get full access for the whole month. All right? It helps out a lot, and I do appreciate that. We have been getting a lot of new members. Ever since we started doing the 7-day free trial thing, a lot of new members have been coming in. So, I do love that, and I do appreciate that. We will still be doing the free, monthly Patreon episodes. Just that way, if you do want to become a free member, you can always get the free episode and all that good stuff. So, yes, definitely get on down, man. Check out the 7-day free trial for absolutely free, 7 days. And again, if you like it, go ahead and pay the $3 and get full access for the whole month. Audio listeners, thank you guys so much for all the support you guys have been showing. I appreciate it so much. I've been keeping up with the analytics, and I've been noticing that ever since we changed our upload time, you guys have actually been enjoying it, especially our UK and across the pond peoples, as well as, our New Zealand and Australian people. You guys are actually loving that we've changed it, and you guys are liking that the episodes are coming out at a good time for you guys. So I'm glad that we made that change, and you guys seem to be enjoying it. The downloads, the increase in downloads, as well as the increase on just viewership and all that kind of stuff going up, has really, really been able to, show me that this change was kind of necessary. So I like that. Definitely. But keep downloading the show, as well as rating us 5 stars on your preferred listening platforms. Appreciate it so much. It is all free to do that. And it just supports the show. All right. If you want to help out even more, all right, even more on the free 99 side of things, go ahead and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, as well as subscribing to us on YouTube. All that is free, and it's very, very helpful. If you enjoy live streams and you want to talk to your boy and hang out with me and goof around, all that good stuff, we joke around about radioactive shrimp and gooning and all kinds of craziness. We do. And we play some cool games over there and all that. You can watch me suck ass at some video games, you know what I mean? And people yelling at me in the chat, like, what are you doing? Go this way. It's fun. It's amazing. It's awesome. Definitely go on over to twitch.com/ Edith Hakimasu. I have it right here, down here, so you can check that out. Links are also down in the description. Check us out there. If you're following us on TikTok, I do go live on TikTok. I go live on YouTube, all that stuff. I am live everywhere. All right. I am live on Kick, Twitch. I am live on YouTube Shorts, as well as TikTok, man. I am live everywhere. All right. I stream every Friday, Sunday and Monday. Last Monday we didn't have a stream because of the holiday, so I decided to take that day off, go ahead and celebrate the holiday. I believe it was Memorial Day or Labor Day, one of the two. I get Memorial Day and Labor Day mixed up all the time. I think it was Labor Day, but I just took the time off. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go ahead and take the time off. I am rebuilding my streaming PC. That is why this monitor here is not on. So I am rebuilding that computer, and hopefully by the end of today, I'll be able to have the computer built and I can go live. I'll probably, if I do go live today, and you are listening to this episode later today, I should be live. If not, I'll probably be live a little later than usual. I go live 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Friday, Sunday, and Monday. If I don't go live today, I will definitely be live on Sunday and Monday, okay? I definitely will be on there. So a quick little update on that, all right? But yeah. rebuilding computers it doesn't always go the way you plan it. You know what I mean? And that's what annoys the absolute dog shit out of me. But it is what it is. I always try to keep you guys as updated as possible. Also, join the Discord. I do have a link to join the Discord down in the description. Join the Discord, man. That is like your best way to talk to me almost 24/7 if you want to like have conversations, suggest things for the podcast, for streams, whatever it may be, or you just want to chit chat some shit. Join the Discord, man. You can request stream games. Also, we have an open Minecraft server that you can join. We have a whole bunch of shit going on in the Discord, man. Definitely join the Discord. Discord is popping. We always put memes and dumb shit in there, so definitely join the Discord. I haven't been promoting the Discord in a while. I didn't realize I wasn't. I didn't realize that I wasn't promoting the Discord like I should be. So definitely get on down in the Discord, man. Check that out. It's absolutely free. You don't have to be followed or subscribed or anything like that to join the Discord. You can just click the link down in the description, join the Discord, and you can talk to me. You can talk to anybody that's in there. Everybody in there is really cool. Everybody's funny. Everybody's, having a good time doing their thing. So definitely do that. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and get on to our scenarios. We have our first one for today. This one is I cheated back and feel uncertain. All right, what do you feel uncertain about? I cheated on my husband and he caught us. I was sick and tired of feeling unloved and unwanted. I was sick of being a doormat and taking him back every single fucking time. I don't know how I feel right now, but I know it's not regret or shame. It's something else. I invited a guy I've been talking to over at the house. I knew my husband was coming home at 5 and I still went through with it. Damn. Woo, bro. For a woman to get to a point where she bringing another man to the house, she knows you're about to get home, but she still goes through with fucking this man, bro. You must have pushed that woman to an absolute breaking point to where she's like, I don't respect you. I don't give a fuck about your feelings. I don't care about you. You can do what you will. Like, bruh. Woo! The level of I don't give a fuck on this woman is crazy, son. Alright. Keeping personal things personal, he saw everything, and I mean everything. And he heard as well. I have to face the reality of my situation. I'm not shocked he's hurt, but that was my intention, but the hypocrisy is astonishing. He's been crying the entire night. I've cried for years. Somehow I am the scum, not him. After he's been playing house with this woman and having dinner by her house. It's 12 a.m. right now, and all I can say is that I am lucky my husband and the guy didn't thrash it out. It was incredibly awkward. My mind is racing. I feel a bit scared, empowered, and uncertain. I haven't been steady in ages. Look, personally, I think you doing that was extremely dumb. I do. Look, I get it. Homeboy was cheating. He was playing house with this other girl, doing all this stuff. But you getting back at him by doing what he's doing, I think it's just stupid. What you could have done is you could have called that shit out and been like, look, I know about you and that bitch, whatever her name is. I don't know if you know her name. It don't really even matter. But you could be like, I know about you and that bitch. And, if I'm being honest with you, I'm done with it. I ain't tolerating it no more. I want a divorce. And then you could have, got your cheeks clapped by that other dude. That you could have done this in a way where it's like, yeah. I understand why you did it. You wanted him to feel the pain that you've been feeling. That's what it comes down to. But if I'm being honest with you, just by you divorcing him, or asking for a divorce, whatever it may be, and then leaving, to go get your cheeks clapped by homeboy, that right there, enough would have hurt him enough to the point where he would have felt exactly what you're feeling. You didn't have to go and do all that. You didn't have to traumatize the man, because I ain't gonna lie to you. If I ever came home and I could hear my wife getting fucked by another guy. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm probably driving 100 into a wall, man. I ain't gonna lie. I would walk out. I wouldn't catch them. I wouldn't walk in on them. Nah, I would leave. I'd go somewhere, and then I'd come back maybe 2-3 hours later, and then I would just be like, all right, cool. I don't want this relationship anymore. I'm done. It's over with. I wouldn't have no conversations. There wouldn't be no conversation. There'd be no reason to have a conversation. But I think she didn't have to do it the way she did it. She could have easily just been like, hey, yo, I'm done with you. I want to, I want a divorce, and then go be with homeboy, and it still would have hurt homeboy. It would have still hurt him in the same exact way. It would have been a simple thing as that. She didn't really need to do all of that. The fact that you feel empowered over that is kind of crazy to me, if I'm being straight. Look, again, I get it. I get why you did it. I just don't think you went about it the right way. You could have still had that empowerment feeling, but I think the reason she feels uncertain is because she knows what she did was wrong. She knows that she could have easily hurt him in the same way if she would have just been like, I want a divorce. I'm unhappy. I don't want to be with you anymore. I know you got that other bitch, this and that. And then you could have got your cheeks clapped. I think that's why she's feeling uncertain, because she knows she could have done it that way, but she decided not to. But you guys let me know what you think about it in the comments, man, because wow, crazy. All right, on to our next one. Am I the asshole for putting my head over my sister-in-law's camera at my own birthday dinner after I told her no filming? Oh, put my hand. I'm sorry, I said head. After putting my hand over my sister-in-law's camera at my own birthday dinner after I told her no filming. Why would you want no filming at your birthday? I think that's weird, but all right. I, 29 female, had a small birthday dinner last weekend with my husband, 31 male, sister-in-law, Lena, 27 female, mother-in-law, and 2 friends at a normal but nice place. Lena's an influencer. She films literally everything. Plates, forks, people breathing. 3 days before I wrote in the family chat, please don't film me. Food room is fine, just not my face. She said, got you. We sit down, and within 10 minutes, her phone is up, and I say, quiet. And I say quietly, please don't point it at me. She goes, you look great. It's just vibes. Husband backs me. She said no. Lena rolls her eyes, lowers it for maybe 2 minutes. Then the cake comes. Little sparkler, staff singing. Lena stands and points the camera right in my face. Like, birthday girl reveal. I put my hand over the lens and said stop. I didn't grab her phone or touch her. Just covered the camera for a second. She snapped that I ruined her shot, and this is her job. Mother-in-law says to let it go for one night. I said that it's my night, actually. It got awkward fast. Server was right there. I felt embarrassed. Husband tried to change the subject, but Lena kept muttering about how she had to scrap everything. I even paid for my dessert, long story short, and we left pretty quick. Next morning, Lena texts me that I humiliated her and made her look unprofessional in front of everyone. Mother-in-law says I should have moved seats if I didn't want to be in frame. Husband says my boundary is fair, but maybe I made a scene by doing it during the song when eyes were already on me. She posted me before without asking, and coworkers mentioned it. I've asked her to blur/remove, and it turns into a drama, which is why I set the boundary in writing before dinner. Why I might be the asshole. Public space. I didn't physically block her shot, and it was during the song. I could have stood up and turned away or something, but also I don't want to be online against my will on my birthday, or especially on my birthday. I don't know. Am I the asshole? I don't think you're the asshole, just because it's like, bro, you couldn't have not filmed for one day. Like, you literally got to make this about yourself. Like, that's how I would feel about it, especially as the husband. I would have just been, because obviously this is the husband's sister, and I would have told my sister, like, bro, you can't you can't put down the camera and let it be somebody else's day for one night. You know what I mean? For one night, you can't let it be somebody else's day. You got to have the limelight all the goddamn time. And I think that's what would upset me the most, because it's like, my wife explicitly asked for nobody to film just because she doesn't want to be on social media. That's all. It's one night. And then on top of that, she was like, you can film everything else but me. So why in the hell would you not just abide by that and just film everything else? The food, the cake. You don't have to film your brother's wife. You could film the people singing. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't get why she couldn't have just been mindful of that, because it was not like she said you can't film anything. You can film the food, you can film the cake, you can film the people singing, you can film the family members who are comfortable being on camera, just not me. But for some reason, you felt like, oh yeah, but since I'm filming everything already, I'm just going to film you too. Like, no, bruh. That's why I don't think she's the asshole. I would have, my biggest thing is, why did you need to film in the first place? Alright, that's my thing. Why did you need to film in the first place? You obviously sitting here, I looked unprofessional, this and that. Bitch, this ain't your job. Nobody hired you to film that day. So this is not your job. You're not looking unprofessional. You literally with family. Stop. That's stupid. It's extremely dumb. It's selfish and everything. You couldn't let somebody else have the limelight for one night. One night. That's how I would have came at it, because I would have been very upset. I ain't gonna lie to you, I would have been very upset. Like, bro, you couldn't let somebody else have the limelight for one night. That's kind of messed up. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's kind of messed up. You guys let me know what you think about it, though. Is she the asshole for covering the camera or not? Let me know. All right. Found out husband took a woman to my house when I was away. Uh-oh. Married for 2 years to my 45 male husband, and found out he cheated on me months before. All right. He went out with a friend. They both hooked up with girls, and he then took this girl back to my house and had sex with her in our room and bed. He never told me. Found out randomly over a weird acquaintance connection. He said it was a one-time thing and they never talked again after that, which was confirmed by the people who reached out to me. Also found weird traces of deleted searches and non-deleted stuff that indicates he was looking at places where he could meet women while he was on work trips. Oh. He said he never acted on those, just researched, which I hardly believe. Also found out he's lied to me about going out, saying he was home, but his Uber history says otherwise. I really don't believe this one. Oh, this is a one-time mistake. Okay, she wrote it weird. He says he's deeply regretful and would never do this again, which is tempting to believe. I think I would be able to get over this, but would ultimately be a shit relationship in which I'm questioning and thinking he's cheating all the time. Thoughts? Anyone been through something similar? Well, lucky for you, we've gotten a lot of these scenarios gone through. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, yeah. All right, a lot of people backlash me on this point, but I keep it straight, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Look, it's one of those things where if your dude is cheating on you and you feel that he is worth, giving that second chance to, then you should give him that second chance. Get back together with him and, just hold him to that higher standard of, hey, man, you got to show me that, hey, you got to be deserving of this second chance. And, just hold him accountable. You know what I mean? Because it's one of those things where it's like, look, if I'm being honest with you, a lot of dudes cheat. You know what I mean? A lot of dudes cheat, and if you get into a relationship with another guy who says that dude isn't going to do the same thing, I mean, it sucks to say that. It sucks that is the truth of the matter a lot of the times, but it is the truth. It's like a lot of guys are going to cheat, and so, if you're gonna get a guy that's a cheater, at least make sure the dude is, I guess, worth it. You know what I mean? It's horrible to say, and of course a lot of women are gonna recoil to that and be like, oh no, I'd rather just be single. But again, it's like, if you got a guy that's worth it, and if he's feels bad and is willing to change and stuff like that, sure. If you feel the guy's worth it, hold his feet to the fire. And hold him accountable to it, and if he is able to do that, then he is. But I always say, you ain't gonna change a guy. You're not gonna change him. You know what I mean? So it's like, you can do these things, sure. You can, take him back, hold him accountable, hold his feet to the fire, all that good stuff. But he ain't gonna change. He may change for a month, 6 months, a year, but then he's gonna go right back to it. And I always say this. It's one of those things where it's like, if you're gonna take him back, if you feel the dude is worth taking back, then this is what you do. But know that you as a woman, you're just not gonna change that man. Again, he'll change for a month, 6 months, a year, but then he's gonna go right back to the bullshit. So do with that what you will. You know what I mean? I'm just giving the message, and if you decide not to receive it and go a different route, that's on you. But like I said, I get these scenarios every once in a while, where a woman's husband is cheating and all this kind of stuff, and they're like, oh, but they say, the guy tells me, or my husband told me that he feels bad and that he wasn't going to do it again, and it's tempting to take him back, and so I don't know. And so that's why I look at it like, well, look, if you're going to take him back, because majority of the time they're going to take him back. Majority of the time they do. The few times I've had couples actually see the episode, see their scenario, and them actually reach back to me, like, this has probably only happened maybe 2 or 3 times through like Instagram DMs and stuff. The wife got back, and then the dude is like, she's holding him accountable, the dude is changing, all that stuff. And I only had one girl who took her dude back, held him accountable, all that good stuff. And guess what happened after 6 months? Found him with another girl again. And I told her, I was like, didn't I say that you're not going to change him? I told you that. I was like, if you're going to get with this dude, you make sure that he's a dude that, you feel is worth it. But just know, you ain't going to change him. You know what I mean? You ain't going to change him. And then it's a thing also where it's like, look, man, majority of dudes are going to cheat. So if you get with another guy, it's like, this guy's going to cheat too. So, hey, again, it's one of those things where it's just like, take it how you will. That one's always a tough one. People love to fight me back on that one, but it's the truth though. It's a tough pill to swallow, but it is the truth, sadly. I mean, but yeah, you guys let me know what you think about it in the comments. Are you against me? You with me? Does it kind of make sense? I don't know. You guys are obviously have your own thoughts and ways of dealing with that. So you guys let me know. All right. Okay. On to our next one. Am I the asshole for taking my genitals out after a date? Bruh.
What? Hey, yo, what the fuck?
All right, man. Let's see what's up. All right. I've added the NSFW flair because I didn't want to sugarcoat or skirt around any of the details in what happened. Back in January of this year, of the good old big 2025, I-30 male matched with I-30 male matched with and started talking to this girl, 26 female. On a dating app, we moved to text, and she kept sending me nudes and pics of her in lingerie. The chemistry is good so far. We ended up meeting for a date. She wants to go to a place that is near enough to her place. I mentioned that there is a brewery near the cross streets, and she said she lived by. We meet up at XYZ Brewery. She walked from her place. I drove and met her there. We have dinner. I pay. She says she likes a guy who pays. I usually split the bill, but I remember this from a previous convo with her. You should never split the bill, dude. That's crazy. You know what I mean? As we are walking out, she asked if I can drive her home. It turns out she lives like 600 feet away from the brewery. I thought she was joking because it was hard to find parking by her place. That wasn't just at the brewery already, but she said she needs a ride because she can't walk the distance again. I feel like this should have been the first red flag, but pressed on to finding a spot that was closer to her place and wasn't just not the brewery parking lot again. She was indeed not joking. We got back to her place. She invites me up to her room. She tells me to get comfortable on her bed while she goes to the bathroom to change into some lingerie. She comes out and she says she doesn't want to do any penetration or kissing. I told her I am comfortable with that and am glad she just communicated outright. Okay, that's kind of trash. Like, if I can't fuck you or, kiss on you, what am I going to be doing? Like, You better be sucking my dick, bro. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here, man? All right, we'll see. I see this as a green flag at the time. That is a huge red flag. What the fuck are we talking about? We start dry humping and grinding on each other. She goes back into the bathroom and changes into another set of lingerie. We're dry humping again. She goes back and it changes again. We are dry humping again. I don't know why she keeps going into the bathroom and trying on different lingerie, but I just roll with it. We are dry humping again. I don't know which set of lingerie we are at, but it was like 3 or 4 set changes in total. And I take out my dick and she sees I took it out and gets really upset, then goes to the bathroom again. I put my clothes back on, knowing she'll probably ask me to leave. She comes back out in more lingerie and wants me to take my pants off again. We get in position to dry hump, and then a moment later, she tells me she wants me to leave immediately. She walks me out. What? What? Look, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Just the fact that she said, like, no penetration and kissing and she's doing all this, I would have just been like, nah, bro, nah. Like, we're not doing this. If we're going to do this, we're going to do this all the way. You know what I mean? Like, we're doing this all the way or we're not doing this. I'm not about to sit here and waste my time dry humping with a girl. What are we, 16? Come on, man. I'm not about to be a 30-year-old man dry humping. Fuck that. That's dumb. That is absolutely retarded. Why are you a 30-year-old man agreeing to this 26-year-old girl? Oh, yeah, sure, I love dry humping. That's fantastic. No, nigga. The fuck are we talking about here? That's dumb. Are you stupid? Yes, you are, because you agreed to that dumb shit. What the fuck are we talking about here, man? You're 30 years old, dry humping a bitch. Like, bro. And she probably testing out lingerie for the dude she's actually gonna fuck. Like, come on, man. What are we doing here? Oh, my God. Later that night, she starts texting me things like, are you sure you don't have any STDs? Are you sure you're sure? Can you get tested? When was your last test? And I explained to her that I believe she is having a post-hookup anxiety attack and that there are literally nothing we have done this evening that could transfer an STD. We didn't even have skin-to-skin contact, no kissing, no fluids. She says something like, there is literally nothing you can say to make me feel good right now. And she ghosts me. Fast forward like 6-7 months to late summer now-ish, and she and I match again on a different dating app. Right off the bat, she asked if I want to come over and see her new lingerie and asked if I can show it off. I tell her I'm the guy she went on a date with back in winter, and we did that before, but she got uncomfortable. I feel like she does this with a lot of dudes. I feel like she matches with niggas, and then, you know, it's just, she'll send them pictures and stuff, and they'll be like, hey, come over, and just dry humps dudes. You know what I mean? I feel like she does this a lot. To the point where she didn't even recognize this dude months later of like, oh yeah, I matched with this guy before and we dry humped and all that kind of shit. Like, I feel like this is her MO. This is just what she does. You know what I mean? She then says, wait, you're the guy I went to XYZ Brewery with and you took your penis out. And I said, yes. Then she said, well, I consider that to be sexual assault and you should never contact me again. So 2 questions here. I am genuinely confused, and when telling this story to friends, I've gotten mixed answers. 1, am I the asshole? 2, did I sexually assault her? And then 3, if so, what can I do to avoid accidentally sexually assaulting someone in the future? Well, are you the asshole? No, because bitch is just kind of weird. I ain't gonna lie to you, and I think this is just kind of her MO, and this is what she does. And yeah, she's just weird. 2, did you sexually assault her? Technically, yes. You know what I mean? Because she kind of set the ground rules and then of like no kissing and no penetration. So obviously with no kissing and penetration, that obviously means, you know, obviously no pulling your dick out, bro. You know what I mean? Like she kind of set the boundaries in the beginning and then you kind of crossed them. So I think that's why she kind of feels that way. So like technically, yeah, you did, you know. Like she set the boundaries in the beginning, you agreed to them, you know, that it was no penetration, no kissing. So it's like, I mean, what'd you think you were gonna do? Just rub your dick on her stomach or some shit? Like, come on, man. You know what I mean? It just, yeah. And then his last one was, if so, what can I do to avoid accidentally sexual assault? I mean, again, you just set the ground rules and you stick to them. She set the ground rules of no kissing, no penetration. That's how she kept it to. It was like, hey, that's what it was. And so, again, you make the ground rules clear, and then you stick to them. That's really what it comes down to. I ain't gonna lie to you. Again, I don't think you're the asshole in this situation, just for the simple fact that I think she's just weird, and I think you're stupid because you agreed to that. Like, you're 30 years old, and you're out here dry humping like you're fucking 16. I think that's dumb. Like, bro, 16-year-olds do that shit, bro. You know what I mean? And I would argue nowadays 16-year-olds don't do that shit no more. They might, I don't know, but I know when I was 16, I was dry humping the shit out of girls. You know what I mean? Because you know we couldn't really do nothing. But the fact that you're 30 years old and you're agreeing to do this, yeah, you're fucking stupid, bro. Yeah, I mean, I think you're immensely dumb for just even agreeing to that. But again, yeah, you did technically sexually assault the girl. You know what I mean? Yeah, because like I said, she set the ground rules. You agreed to them, and then you pulled your penis out, and it's like, bro, come on, man, what are you doing? So, all right, you guys let me know what you think about that in the comments, though. You know what I mean? Because yeah, dude is stupid. I won't lie to you, dude is fucking retarded. Oh man. All right, we're going to do one more. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a bonus one since it is the free Patreon Day episode. And, you know, I love you guys, and that's what I do. You know what I mean? Mwah, love you. All right, on to our next one. I found a porn of my girlfriend and her older boss and friend. Oh, no. She was getting clapped by her friend and her old boss, bruh. Oh, see, look, bro, this is the type of shit that I'm talking about where I'm like, no, girls cannot have guy friends in a relationship, man. Oh, that's some insane shit. All right, here we go. She was saying that he was her boss because they used to work at the same place, but for me, something was off. I asked if they had anything because they were hanging out together. Rarely, but she would go with her friends to his restaurant. He would call her from time to time, etc. I felt something was wrong, and I checked her phone, and I found a porn just before we met, 3 days in fact. They were fucking in a bathroom like 2-3 minutes. I was shocked that she still had that on her phone. What do I do now? She even met with him and told me he is her friend. He is like 50 years old, fit guy with a wife and kid, so he is much older than us. Why would she keep it? And I also found that she got whole she got whole who I slept with. Oh, she has a whole who I slept with list. With his name and lots of hearts, score of 100. By the way, other guys were maximum 10 or lower. Bro, your girl's a hoe, bro. Your girl's a hoe. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Look, man.
She belongs to the streets.
I haven't hit that button in a long time, but yes, she belongs to the absolute streets, bro. She is a hoe through and through, my guy. Like, this girl has probably had more penis, you know what I mean, than a pair of boxers, bro. It's absolutely insanity. It is insanity how, like, if she's got a whole list, she's fucking having threesomes, you know, getting gangbanged by dudes in a bathroom and all that kind of stuff. She got hearts by these niggas' names and stuff. Like, that tells me that they still have a current sexual relationship now. She's still fucking these dudes, bro. There is no like, oh yeah, they fucked like 2-3 days before we got together and then they stopped. No, she's still doing it now. At work, she probably getting clapped in the bathroom. She probably sucking man's off in his car. They go to lunch together. And she's like, oh yeah, my lunch is your sperm, bruh. Come on, man. You're just not seeing it. You're just not seeing it, bro. This relationship is cooked. It is cooked. I would have been like, no, man, I'm done with this relationship. I'm over it. I'm out. Fuck that, bro. You're a hoe, man. Hey.
She belongs to the streets.
You need to let her go, bro. Let her go. This relationship is cooked. It is so unbelievably cooked. It's crazy. All right? It's cooked. It's over with. It's done, man. The relationship is done. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Your girl's a hoe. She's still fucking her boss. Probably her friend, too. And, yeah. Yeah. It is what it is, man. Damn, that's tough. But that's going to go ahead and be today's episode, man. Hope you guys enjoyed today's Patreon Day episode. Love you guys so much. Appreciate all the support you guys have been showing. Again, patreon.com/MyLasshole Podcast. If you want to get a full access for 7 days free, definitely go on over there, sign up for the free 7-day trial, and see what Patreon has to offer and see if you like it. And if that's something that you enjoy, then definitely go on over there. Or if you just want to support, the channel and subscribe to it, just supporting, that's awesome too. All right, love you guys all. I will see you hopefully tonight on stream. If not, I'll see you on Sunday, for we got a Sunday episode. We'll be doing another few chapters of Lights Out, and then I'll be streaming that night as well. So that episode will probably come out probably early in the morning, and then then we'll stream that night. All right, so yeah, love you guys all. I will see you most likely Sunday, hopefully tonight on stream. If I don't stream tonight, then I'll see you guys definitely on Sunday. All right, love you guys all, and peace.